This man right here is Peyton Manning. I think it goes without saying that Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League, and truly is one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. I could go on about all the accolades he's won and all the things he's accomplished, from making 4 Super Bowls and winning 2 of them, to winning 5 MVPs, to setting the record in 2004 for most passing touchdowns by a quarterback in a single season, only to break the record again in 2013 with a still standing 55 touchdowns, to making 14 Pro Bowls and everything in between. The man truly was a legend. But Manning played a lot of football. When you're that good and that accomplished and can stay relatively healthy, which Manning absolutely did, as he didn't miss a start until the 2011 season, you're going to be taking a lot of snaps. In total, Manning threw 9,380 passes in his career and ran the ball 431 times. So for simplicity's sake, let's just say that Peyton Manning was involved in 10,000 plays over his NFL career. On 10,000 plays, Manning was the one either getting rid of the football to one of his wideouts, or was the one holding onto the ball and running with it. And when you've got 10,000 data points, it's awfully hard to figure out what the craziest one of the bunch is. You can ask people what the best play of Peyton Manning's career was, and you'll get a ton of different answers. You can ask people what the worst play of Peyton Manning's career was, and you'll also get a ton of different answers. Though I'm guessing the majority would say it was the pick 6 thrown to Tracy Porter at Super Bowl 44. But what about the strangest play? What is the most bizarre play of Peyton Manning's career, and the play that makes you go, Well, for that, I think I have the answer with one of the strangest endings to a half you've ever seen. Most of the time, when a team gets the ball deep in their own territory near the end of the half, especially when holding on to the lead, they won't take any chances. They'll just take a knee, fall on the football, and go into the half with the score remaining what it currently is. They'll talk things over in the locker room, avoid anyone getting hurt in the final few seconds, and recognize that the risk of trying to move down the field with so little time just isn't worth it. But not the Colts in 2005. Because in 2005, during a game against the Tennessee Titans, Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts decided to do something so crazy that, legitimately, I have never seen before in an NFL game. I've watched a lot of football over the years, and I've watched a lot of football for this channel, and this is the only time I have ever seen a team and a quarterback try this. And it's something so absurd and so strange that it deserves a deep dive 2 decades later. Because this is the story behind Peyton Manning and what might just be, considering the circumstances, the strangest and most bizarre play of his otherwise legendary NFL career. Make sure you hit that like button down below, subscribe, hype up that video, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we post on the channel. Because we post every single day on here about the weird and the wacky history of the NFL with stories like this one that you may not have heard of before. So if you like that sort of stuff, then this is definitely the place for you. Thanks in advance for liking and subscribing, and for hyping up the video, and for helping us grow this community. And with that in mind, let's talk about the time that Peyton Manning tried to get Tennessee in a twist. Before I talk about the actual incident in question, and just how bizarre it was, because trust me, I've never seen a team or a player try this before, we need some context to understand the importance of the game at hand, as well as how the game was going. It's December 4th, 2005. It's week 13 of the NFL season. And as we're officially in December and heading down the home stretch of the year, we've got an AFC South battle on our hands at the RCA Dome between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. On paper, this should be an easy win for the Colts, and it's not too hard to see why. The Colts enter this game with a perfect 11-0 record, firing all cylinders and looking like the best team in football. Indy had the number 1 offense in football, scoring 331 points, or a whopping 31 points per game. They have the number 2 defense in football and the number 1 defense in the AFC, allowing just 159 points, or barely over 14 points per game, meaning that they were winning their games by an average of 3 possessions. And their point differential of plus 172 was not just the best total in the NFL, but was 68 points ahead of second place. That's how dominant they were. And now, To go to 12-0 and extend their cushion on the #1 seed in the conference, they have to play the 3-8 Titans, a team that has the second worst defense in the conference, that has lost 5 of their last 6 games, that has nothing to play for, and that lost by 21 points to you in Week 5, the first time you played this season, with that game being on their home field? Yeah, this should be a cakewalk. Vegas thought so, seeing as the Colts were 14-point favorites, and everyone had the feeling that this was going to be a bloodbath, and that nothing was going to stop the Colts from being 75% of the way there to becoming the first team in NFL history to go undefeated in a 16-game regular season. And anyone who doubted the Titans on this day was 100% right, because as the Colts were getting it back late in the first half, the Colts were completely on the front foot, leading at 14-3. Peyton Manning was having another sensational game, as he threw 2 touchdown passes, with one going to Brian Fletcher and the other one going to the future Hall of Fame wideout, Marvin Harrison. If you're thinking to yourself, wait, why didn't the Colts score more in the first half? Well, they only had 3 drives, and 2 of them were touchdowns, with the other one being a 3-and-out on 3 straight handoffs to Edgerrin James. So on every drive in the first half, where Manning threw at least 1 pass, the Colts found the end zone and were unstoppable. In the first half, Manning was 8 for 12 with 2 touchdowns, no picks, 116 yards, and a passer rating of 137.5, which is about 20 points shy of a perfect passer rating. In other words, he was giving the Titans fits all day long. He was making them furious. And he was about to make them a little more furious. Because with 24 seconds left, and the Colts having the ball at their own 20-yard line, following a kickoff return on a Titan field goal, it seemed as if the Colts were content to just go into the half. They were getting the ball to start the second half. They were up by 2 scores, and they were in a good spot. Sure, you could try and push the ball down the field, as you have all your timeouts, and it's not like the Titans can stop the clock and get it back themselves, since they have no timeouts. But I get the idea of just wanting to be smart here. For Peyton Manning, this man right here, the plan is simple. Go into the locker room up by 11, getting the ball. Don't give the Titans a chance to get a huge momentum swing before the halftime break, and leave to thunderous applause from your home fans. And Peyton Manning's about to do that, taking a knee to go into the halftime break up 14-3. Or so we think, because what follows might truly be the strangest play of Peyton Manning's entire career that you've probably never seen before. Take a look.
As Indianapolis, the #1 team in the NFL, takes a knee, so the Colts will settle for a 14-3 lead at halftime. Look at the passing rating for Peyton Manning, 137.5.
You get the feeling they're in control. And now they're going to come out and try a quick snap, Gus. Watch this. And there's going to be some, look at this. And as Peyton Manning runs back out, now it's over. Now the clock has run out. He'll try anything.
Very interesting. 14-3. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
I've watched a lot of football in my life. I've watched legitimately thousands upon thousands of games across tons of different eras, from the past to the present. And I can safely say that I have never, not once, seen this attempted before. Manning took the knee, ran off, prompting everyone else on the Titans to run off, because why wouldn't they? In that spot, when a quarterback takes a knee and acts like he's going into the locker room, the other team will run across the field and go into the locker room too, because there's no reason to stand around until the end of the half. You might as well get a head start in halftime adjustments and making sure the players recover and do what they need to do. You might as well get some extra rest. Then, this man right here, Peyton Manning, turned around, faked it, went back to the line of scrimmage, and tried to snap the ball with the intent of having the Titans call for too many men on the field, seeing as everyone but the Stanford band was on the field for Tennessee here. What this would have accomplished outside of gaining 5 yards, I'm not entirely sure. The Colts would have had the ball at the 25-yard line with a few seconds to work with, so it's not like they could have done anything with it. It's not like Manning was trying to do something to get the Colts an extra chance at 3 points or 7 points or whatnot. This was just an incredibly bizarre play that served no purpose whatsoever. Because if you're trying to move the ball down the field by running the clock, you can give it to Edgerrin James instead of trying to beat the other team like this. Seems like a ton of work to get 5 yards at the end of the half when you've got no time left anyways. This was a giant mind game. And let's just say that the Titans did not take too kindly to Manning's mind games. Because after the Colts completely curb stomped the Titans by a final score of 35-3 to officially clinch a playoff spot, one man was not too happy about not just how his team played, but about how the first half ended. And that man was this man right here. None other than Tennessee Titans head coach Jeff Fisher. Because in his eyes, what Manning did was complete and utter bush league. Keep in mind that the play was completely legal. There is nothing that says you can't take a knee at the end of the first half, fake going into the locker room, then come back and sprint back to the line to get a snap off and get the opposition off guard. It's kind of pointless, and it doesn't serve any purpose, but there's nothing that says you can't do that. Still, that didn't stop Fisher from complaining about it. As Fisher said, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish, kneeling on it and then running back on the field. That was absolutely absurd to me. That should fall under the category of unsportsmanlike conduct. Nothing positive to gain from that situation other than push and shove and those kind of things on the field. And I don't understand it. They don't need to explain it to me, but I don't understand it. I thought it was ridiculous. Trying to catch us for a penalty with 75 guys, 10 trainers, and 4 doctors on the field rather than 12. A lot of benefit from that. To me, it should fall under some category or there's going to be problems, you know. Maybe I'll put a rule in this offseason. Somebody should have taken the ball and thrown it into the stands. By all indications, they took the snap, kneeled down, flipped the ball, and left the field. Half's over. Ask them. For what it's worth, we never got a comment from the Colts, from head coach Tony Dungy, or from quarterback Peyton Manning on this incident. So all we really have to go off of here is Fisher's comments. Although Titans linebacker Keith Bullock said, I think Peyton was just playing around. He does that from time to time. He's done that before. And while this might sound like sour grapes from Fisher, I actually understand where he's coming from here. Like I said, this is not a penalty, and the referees didn't blow the whistle or throw a flag for it. But I can see, as a matter of safety, why you don't want plays like this taking place. Number one, the NFL has rules in place about deceiving the referee. Deceiving the other team? That's one thing, and that's 100% a part of the game. But a play like this deceives the referee. And as we saw in the Lions-Cowboys game from 2023 that ended in controversial fashion on the 2-point conversion try, you can't really do that. You can't intentionally deceive the officials. You can't deceive the guys who are trying to keep the game fair. Number two, and most importantly, this is a massive safety issue. If you have these 300-pound players trying to call a play, and the entire team is on the field because you, with your actions, instructed them to cross the field because the half is over, including water boys and team doctors and whatnot, as in personnel members who do not have the body to play the game and match up against these guys, this can lead to devastating injuries. This is the kind of stuff that could seriously injure or kill someone. Let's say you run this play. The girl in charge of hydrating the players during stoppages is running across the field, and a massive tight end running 20 miles per hour just bowls over her and she's blindsided. It could be a catastrophic, life-altering injury. The league has banned the ability to fake the fair catch signal due to safety issues. So why should faking a kneel down in this manner be any different? Especially when the main objective of this play would accomplish basically nothing. So yeah, I absolutely see where this man right here, Jeff Fisher, stands on this. A play like this is way too much of a safety risk, and while it's not banned, I get why he wants it banned. Nor would I hate the idea of this being banned, even though this play, at least to my knowledge, has not been replicated since. Regardless, this man right here, Peyton Manning, changed the game in so many ways with how he played and how he prepared. And apparently in 2005, He even changed how teams approached the end of the first half. The next time you see a team take a knee at the end of the half, and you see the players and coaches running into the tunnel and off the field before the clock hits triple zeros, just know that there is at least a greater than zero chance, no matter how microscopic it is, that it's all a ruse, and they could be baiting you to leave the field or yet call for too many men on the field so they can call one more play before the clock truly hits zeros. And you can thank Peyton Manning for that, I guess. Because on this December day in 2005, much to the dismay of Jeff Fisher, Peyton Manning told the Titans that he was Lenny Kravitz, and that when it came to the end of the first half, it ain't over till it's over. Check out our live streaming schedule for the next few days. We're live every single day on this channel, whether we're covering a sporting event or playing GeoGuessr or just taking your requests. So make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single time that we go live and so that you can join this community. Also, thanks to all our members and our Patreon supporters who get exclusive perks like their name of the end of each video, members-only Q&A streams, and cool emojis to use on videos and during streams. See how you can join this community and become a member or a Patreon member by clicking the link in the description below.